Hi everyone! Today I'd like to introduce you the Biscayne International Park of the United States. So, it is located in southern Florida, and it is actually right next to the other national park called the Everglades. Here are some basic information. It has 172,971 acres in total, and it was established on June 28, 1980. And guess what? It is 95% water. The only lands are the coastal area, small islands, and a very thin peninsula. It includes the Boca Chica Key, Elliott Key, Adams Key, and Soldier Key. But what exactly makes it worthy for a national park? This area protects 4 distinctive ecosystems: the shoreline mangrove swamp, the shallow coastal waters, the coral limestone keys, and the offshore Florida reefs. Now I will briefly introduce the natural history of Elliott Key. The structure you see here is the Key Largo limestone. It is a fossilized coral reef and was formed about 75,000 years ago. As a consequence of their origins as reefs, the beaches of Elliott Key are also somehow in a rocky texture. Despite of this, the coral reefs still continue to thrive in the offshore area. However, the Biscayne International Park is now facing a challenge that all humans face: global warming. This is the structure of a polyp growing on the coral reef. In the tentacles live the organism called the zooxanthellae. It is a kind of algae that has a symbiotic relationship with the coral and gives the coral its pigmentation. The zooxanthellae takes in water and carbon dioxide generated by the coral and then produces the nutrients that the coral needs for growth. But when water temperature rises, the zooxanthellae will then emit a toxin that forces the coral to expel the algae. Without the symbiotic relationship, the corals slowly turn white, which is a process called coral bleaching. This causes a dilemma in the ecosystem because it affects many food chains. We'll take 2 as example. The first organism affected will probably be the shrimp, as for it takes food source and habitat in the coral reef. The next one would be yellow snapper and the jellyfish, which preys on the shrimp. For the tertiary consumers, we have the lionfish and the loggerhead sea turtle, which are specialists to this national park area. The death of coral reefs will also influence quaternary and quaternary consumers, such as the stingray, the American crocodile, which I have no idea how to draw, and the reef sharks, which are super ugly. Well, in my drawing. Sometimes there's really not much that we can do to stop global warming, except for implementing the concept of reduce, reuse, and recycle that every APES student should know. Now, why don't we talk about something more positive? The mangrove forests in the Elliott Key are definitely the most special and most mysterious places in the national park. With their impenetrable root systems, they help to keep park waters clear and clean. They slow water flow from the land and allow sediment to settle. Their roots provide shelter for a host of marine organisms, and their tree branches provide breeding and nesting areas for birds, including brown pelicans. What's more, their leaves fall down from the branches all year round and then break down to become food and habitat for tiny marine organisms. Without these forests, Florida's vital fisheries would drastically decline. At last, I think there are some people that we'd all like to thank. Ernest F. Coe, the earliest person who suggested proposals for the protection of Biscayne Bay. Carl G. Fisher, who was responsible for much of the development of Miami Beach and then bought Adams. The Jones family, Daniel K. Ludwig, and among many others. That's all. Thank you all for watching. I hope it was helpful and have a nice day.